following contest from Denver, Colorado, weighing in at Little Homie Don.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one.
Of all the superstars on the roster, this guy is amongst the hardest working. That goes without saying.
Definitely shout out to Don Chaos. We know you got our back, and we got your back too, man. Denver, Colorado all day, brother. We're definitely going to hook up with you. Much love to Carnival Spirits for putting us on as well on this YouTube, man.
Shout out to you, Don Chaos, for, what is this, episode like 126 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
You've been putting in work, bro. Respect. Y'all doing some shit for the community and the fam out there. Appreciate it. So just keep doing what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Congrats to Don Chaos for 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop.
Keep it going, man.
Congratulations, Don Chaos. Yes, keep it going, man. Good luck to you, fucking Don Chaos, and fucking hell yeah on your 1,000 fucking followers.
You know who it is. It's Ouija Mac, bitch. Shout out to Carnival Spirits. And fucking shout out to Don Chaos one time. You know what's going on.
This is my brother. Everyone, Don Chaos and Brother Lynch Hung here.
Yeah, and Carnival Spirits. What's up, man? Don Chaos. What's up? It's your boy Brother Lynch Hung. We out here tonight. Let's go.
Fuego Flays and my nigga Don Chaos. What's going on, B? It's my brother right here. It's my boy. Excuse the left. Excuse the left.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Don Chaos, and I'm with a very legendary man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we at the gathering, y'all.
Radio show of the year. This one's always controversial. Coming in number one, we got Hours of Chaos with Don Chaos. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, there. Congratulations, man. Don Chaos, Hours of Chaos.
Yo, 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 yo. What is good, everyone? Y'all already know who this is. This is Don Chaos here, back with the Hours of Chaos podcast. Sorry, I'm running a little late, y'all. I had to hurry and scramble to set this up, so I do apologize. Man, today just got away. Today just went by too fast, and my alarm didn't go off. So how is everyone? You know, whether you're watching this live, or you're just watching the replay, or you're not watching it at all, what's up? Welcome to the show. So yeah, how is everyone? See, we have one person in the chat. We have two. Keeps going from 2 to 0 in the chat, which is weird. But chat. Yeah, I was scrambling to get this show set up. Usually, you guys know me, I usually have it set up all on time and stuff. But also because last night or this morning I went to bed late because I was finishing editing the trailer for the up and coming schedule for next month. So that, and I set my alarm to go off, but then it didn't end up going off for some reason. And usually I set my show up ahead of time, but it happens, it rarely happens, but it happens sometimes. Yeah, I don't expect many people to tune in. So yeah. We have the first of one of our guests coming in. Please welcome to the show, one part of Tortured Circle. What's up, man?
Man, I'm good. You? How are you tonight?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. How are you tonight?
I am in Florida.
Awesome. Where's Kevin up in here?
Yes, there he is. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's why it was taking so long, because I had to fiddle with my microphone to get the damn thing to work properly.
Yeah, I think all of technology is really drunk today. Blame the fucking aliens.
So how's it going, Mr. Chaos?
It is doing good. I mean, welcome back to the show. You've been on the show before, man, so welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a little while, but yeah.
So yeah, what we do, like on the show, you know the format. You guys just give a brief introduction, who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been doing music. And then, yeah, we will ask with the questions.
You want to go first, Matt?
Yeah, I might as well. I'm Iron Matt. I'm from Tipton, Birmingham, UK. I've been rapping about 20 years, producing, still underground, still trying to make it. That's about it, really. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Let's see what Ken got to say.
So that's a first. Here on the Hours of Chaos podcast, you're our first ever international interview. So that is dope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I've been rapping since soundclick.com, since Acid Planet. I mean, Acid Planet's gone now. And back in the day, man, that was a shit. You'd get shit reviews on there. People would just trash your music all day. But it was an output back then. And then we got SoundClick. You remember SoundClick?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going today, but back then I used to go on SoundClick and put my music on there. Now it's just YouTube, SoundCloud. I'd like to do SoundClick again, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, how about you, Kevin?
Well, Sick One would be the name, as you can see. I hope I did that right. Most people on here know me as Hatchet Reviews. For those that don't know, well, now you know. And I am from the good old wonderful state of New York.
Where in New York are you from?
What's that?
I said he means that with the straightest face.
Yeah. And I've been doing this since about 2006 as far as the rapping thing goes. Actually, rapping YouTube kind of started around the same time that I think about it.
Hell yeah. So what compiled you guys like to come together and form this like group together? Like how did you guys reach out to each other and how long have you guys known each other?
I think I've known Kevin about 7-8 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We actually met through a mutual friend because we both used to be on a label together with her. Her name was Mina. And that was how we officially met, was through her. And we've just been kind of talking on and off since then. And I kind of had the idea to do a rap group a while ago. Just never really had anybody that I felt like, yeah, that would be dope if me and them could get together. And then I met Matt. I was like, what?
Yeah, man. We was working for Mini Records, and that didn't get too good, but I don't really want to get into that because I don't talk about other people. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk, you know what I mean? But yeah, we just started hitting each other last year, sending raps to each other. He was trying to get me back on the microphone again as I quit. I didn't quit. I just stopped for a while because I had a lot going on in my life. A lot of things I don't want to talk about right now. But I didn't know whether to rap again, whether to pick the mic up, whether to stay producing. And then Kevin was sending me raps, and I thought, well, I've got to get on the mic and spit it. I've got to get on the mic and rap. If I don't rap, then what's the point just having words on a piece of paper? So I just went and got me a snowball microphone, a piece of carpet, chucked it in my I just chucked it up in the corner. It's on my bookcase, and I just started rapping again. And I thought, well, mix it down. It sounds good. And I thought, well, I've got to get back doing it. And I've done like 30, 40 tracks in the last 4 or 5 months. So me and Kev thought, let's start a group. Me and Kev work together. And right now we're working on an album. We've got about 3 tracks done. Yeah. There's another person who's part of our group I don't want to get into right now, but yeah.
And that's cool that you're like from the UK, man, because like there's a lot of rich history like in UK, and I noticed like there's like really hardcore people like that are into hip hop that are like in the UK and Europe. It's like people that still like have appreciation of it, like as music and an art form and a way of life.
Well, some people appreciate it. Some people are more grime in the battle scene. I used to do the battle scene in Wolverhampton all the time and go and see people battle up there. But it's mostly grime scene, so it's kind of different to what we do. Like the stuff I do is more like New York, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane.
Hell yeah.
The old school stuff. I like a bit of Detroit as well. I like your Juggalo scene, but I was never really down, like me personally, I was never really down with the clown. I love the music. I love the whole thing, but I was more like a Chino XL fan. And I know the Juggalos don't really get on with Chino XL.
I love Chino XL.
Yeah, man. It just doesn't get his flowers enough, I don't think. It doesn't get appreciated.
Yeah, but one of my all-time favorite like artists of all time is I love MF Doom.
MF Doom is great. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. That still shocked me to this day.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
But if I get a bit off topic, just leave me back on topic. We were talking about the UK scene and the love it over here. The love all of you get people come over all the time. You get Necro come over, the show Necro love. You get a lot of artists from your country come over in the UK and they get love. Like Yellow Wolf comes over. It's just crazy, but I'd love to come over to America sometime. I was supposed to come about 7 years ago to New York, but it never happened.
Oh yeah. And of course, Kevin, you're from the state of New York, the birthplace of hip hop.
Mm-hmm. And my most favorite rapper of all time is also from New York, and I love it. That would be A$AP Rock, for those who don't know A$AP Rock.
Hell yeah. I love A$AP Rock.
I love A$AP Rock.
That whole A$AP group is just like dope.
And then I also get into like Jedi Mind Tricks, Vinny Paz, Self-Titled, Apathy.
Fuck yeah.
Army of the Pharaohs.
7L Aesthetic.
Yeah, I love like Immortal Technique. That dude, like he's dope, but if you see Immortal Technique live, fucking blows you away.
Yeah, Immortal Technique is another good one. Mm-hmm.
Dance with the Devil was probably one of my favourite songs from Immortal.
Yeah, who doesn't like love Wu-Tang Clan and all that shit?
Now we're going old school. I love me some Wu-Tang Clan. Some Nas, NWA.
Or if you want to just vibe out to like something, just vibe out to A Tribe Called Quest.
I was just about to say A Tribe Called Quest is one of my most favorite like old school hip hop. Them and the Beastie Boys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing like Beastie Boys like back in the day in interviews, and I would watch documentaries about them like touring in like the UK and shit.
Love some Beastie Boys, man. They're
Just 3 MCs and 1 DJ. Let me put it down with no delay.
Yeah.
Nah, I love me some Beastie Boys, Intergalactic, all the
Oh,
other.
I love Intergalactic. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just a white nerd when it comes to this rap shit, man.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I like about the UK is there's such rich music history there too, like in especially the rock genre, like punk rock, because I know Kevin's really big into punk rock too, and you have a lot of that British grimy punk rock that's dope.
Oh hell yeah. Sex Pistols, Crash, The Clash, Conflict.
Well, I'm from Birmingham. You got
Sorry, my most favorite part of the punk rock scene is the British punk rock scene.
Oh yeah.
Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the originators of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And from Birmingham, bro.
Mm-hmm.
From
And, like, a
Birmingham.
lot of my favorite like singers are from England. Like my other favorite singer, like all-time favorite singer from the UK is Elton John. I don't give a fuck what anyone says because it's Elton John. He's dope.
He is.
That dude can sing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I heard his live show is very dope. Yeah. On the topic of hip hop, like if you guys could remember, what's like the first like hip hop song you guys heard that like made you guys get into hip hop and you're like, oh, what is this?
Oh dear God. Honestly, I would have to say I don't remember the name of the song exactly, but I'd have to say Run DMC
Hell yeah.
because of the man who I thought was my dad for my entire life. Basically, used to go around the house singing nothing but Run DMC and Biggie all the freaking time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think the first time I got into hip hop was about 97, and I used to have a little Walkman, and my brother used to do me all the tapes. So on the tape, he'd have to record it, obviously off another tape, and I think I used to listen to Spice Girls.
Hell yeah.
I used to listen to Will Smith, and I used to listen to a bit of Dr. Dre and a bit of Wu-Tang. I'm going back years now. And then when I was about 1999, I started getting a CD player so I could get all the CDs. Cool. I think my first song I ever got into was probably Will Smith. Boom, boom, shake the room.
Hell yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a fan of his now, but back then that was what I listened to.
Don't mind me adjusting myself.
Oh. Hell yeah. And if you guys like can remember like music in general, or it could be hip hop, what's like the first like record you remember ever buying with your own money?
Korn, Issues.
Hell yeah.
That was my very first one I remember buying. Yep.
Probably the Marshall Mathers LP.
Classic.
About 13, and I got that on CD. And the only shit thing is, you remember with CD players, you'd walk with it. You have to walk a little bit, and the shit would skip. It's like,
Yep, I do remember those days of that happening.
Yep.
Kids nowadays, they got a clue about that. But, you know, that was the day.
That or when you had a boombox, me and my friends, we would just listen to a CD on the porch and we'd be like drinking and stuff or just chilling.
All days, man.
Or I was be like walking with my Walkman like through school, just like rapping lyrics all out loud and shit.
Yeah, man.
Thinking I could rap, which I can't rap for shit to save my life. I mean, some songs. But I get told when I'm drunk, I can freestyle pretty good. Supposedly.
You're drunk?
Yeah, same. I'm all good when I've had a drink.
I can't freestyle to save my life, so.
After about 12 drinks, I start mumbling a bunch of shit, so you have to stop me. I'm usually
Yeah, one of my friends though, he can drink and he can still perform a show. Like liquor does nothing for him. He can drink a lot and still perform and get all the words on point, not mess up the words. It's phenomenal. I don't know how he does it. It's like, gosh, dude, liquor just goes through you. It doesn't affect you. That's dope.
Yeah. Some people are like that though, and they can just drink and you just end up in bed and the room spins.
And the artist I'm talking about, for those that probably know who I'm talking about Scum. That dude, he can drink Jaeger like nothing, and he can still put on a good show. Hell yeah. And what are, like, if you guys had to choose, what are, like, your top 5, like, all-time favorite hip-hop albums of all time?
Oh, shit.
I know, that's always the hard one.
Yeah, that's a question. Fuck it up. I can name probably top 3 albums. I couldn't
I'll let you go first while I think.
Yeah. Probably Tupac Until the End of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Slim Shady LP. And then my first album would probably be Chino XL Poison Pen.
Hell yeah. What about you, Kevin?
I think I'd have to go 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan.
You.
Nas, I Am. Marshall Mathers LP. ASAP Rock Skeleton. And well, you got me thinking of the last one here. Honestly, just because of nostalgia, ICP's The Ringmaster.
Hell yeah, it counts. And that's one thing you can even testify to this, Kevin. Violent J is going to go down as one of the greatest storytellers, like, in the genre. One of them. That's one thing I always liked about, like, hip-hop. Like, I love storytelling rappers and stuff, or rappers that, like, where you can just sit back and visualize the stuff they're talking about.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why I got so big into ICP, was for that aspect of the storytelling, because they are masters of that craft.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the New York Post actually interviewed Violent J, like, and they interviewed, like, some of the greatest, like, storytelling rappers, and he was one of the people they interviewed, which is dope.
I saw that.
Because it was celebrating the 50-year anniversary of hip-hop. Oh my God, hip-hop's been around 50 years? Holy shit.
Yeah. Don't feel too old, bro. I'm 36 this year, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'll be 33 next month.
Salute. What you doing is brilliant. Don, for the underground artist, it's so brilliant, man.
There's, like, what I do with underground artists is I'll, like, interview them. This show is, like, just to really help promote them. Like, if no one's, like, ever heard of them, this is, like, the best show, like, where I, like, promote people. And, like, probably the biggest legendary interview I've had on here. Like, a lot of people don't know about him, but I interviewed Flatliners, which is dope. Which, fun fact, a lot of people don't know about Flatliners. One of the members is actually Russell Simmons of Def Jam, and one of the members of Run DMC's nephew. So I always hold that interview in high regard. That interview is worth the 2 hours, because they're both talking about, like, hanging out with Tupac and Biggie back in the day. So that's a dope interview. Y'all need to check it out.
Yeah, I watched a few of your podcasts. I watched Maniac the other, I think it was about 3 or 4 days ago, and I watched the Misguided Bastards. And mate, I enjoyed them.
Oh,
I'm gonna check your catalogue out, because I'm watching a few.
Hell yeah.
So, when did you start promoting wrestling?
When did I start promoting wrestling?
You still do it?
I don't do, like, anything in the wrestling industry anymore. I used to, but I stopped doing it, like, years ago, because, you know, the bullshit politics, you know, that's what bothered it for me.
Yeah.
You had this one wrestler that was trying too hard to live his life like a wrestler and a rock star at the same time, and he was an egomaniac. He was a fucking narcissist, basically.
Holy shit.
Which anyone who's ever watched Dark Side of the Ring, those wrestling documentaries, yeah, I know some of that crazy fucked up shit that's gone down behind the scenes.
Yep, exactly.
When I was a kid, VHS tape called Beyond the Mat, and you could watch like all Jake the Snake and everything all behind the scenes, what you used to get up to. I just stopped watching wrestling back in, I'd say about 01, when ECW went off the map. Bro, I remember as a kid, I've got satellite TV just to watch ECW. Used to get all the little magazines, what is going to be on for the week, the programs, and it'd say ECW's coming on. Bro, it went off air as soon as I got the satellite TV, and I was fucking gutted, man, because I was proper into the ECW. But after that, it was just The Rock, Stone Cold, and after that, I just stopped watching wrestling altogether. But I kept going to like little shows and that. We'd have little shows by us, and just go to watch people wrestle.
Yeah, when I did like wrestling, I was a senior official, I was the cameraman, and then I was the color commentator.
Holy shit. Being a color commentator isn't easy.
So I had multiple jobs there.
Holy shit.
I don't watch it.
I need to find like the old like YouTube channel of our wrestling company. Yeah, I'll watch wrestling here and there. Like I'll watch like a lot of old school wrestling that I grew up on. Hell, I'll even go back and watch wrestling from the 70s. I don't care.
Yeah, man.
Good.
I still watch all the
like I watched this documentary called Cultaholic, and they're based actually in the UK, and they put so much good wrestling documentaries together. It's so dope.
Yes, they do. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Or there's Wrestling with Andy. He puts like such great documentaries. Like he chronicled the Undertaker's career perfectly. Like he doesn't just do wrestlers' WWE career, he does their pre-WWE career. So it is just dope.
Man, it's crazy. I love hearing the biographies about the lives and everything, like how they started wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like with The Rock, like his dad was a wrestler, so we followed in his footsteps.
Yep.
Yeah, and now his daughter's in it. The Rock's daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't keep up on it, bro.
Yeah, and then you have Brian Pillman's son who's wrestling. Supposedly he's wrestling for AEW.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't full on watched AEW, but I've watched a little bit in there. It's entertaining, but I think they're trying a little too hard to be like WCW.
Yeah.
When I'm like, be your own company, be your own stuff.
Exactly. They got some good guys over there, but yeah, a lot of it is just like they just try to rehash like the old shit from like WCW days.
I mean, I like to see older generation wrestlers still wrestle, but there's so much talented younger generation dudes out there too.
Yeah.
Like Chris Jericho, that dude is aging like a fine wine. That dude can still wrestle on the biggest. He still is dope on the mic as when I first heard him on the mic.
Yep.
Like my greatest Chris Jericho moment. Remember WCW when he had that big ass long list and stuff, and he's like going through it in the ring.
Holy shit! I remember watching Chris Jericho win against Chris Benoit. That was fucking ill, man. That was like ill, man.
Yeah.
I'm going back years. Look. Easy 20
He
years,
said the
man.
person's name who shall not be named.
Oh, sorry, bro.
No, it's all good. I know what you're doing. Wrestling, there's those wrestling elites who refuse to do it. I'm like, yes, it's fucked up what he did, but I respect him as a wrestler. Not what he did, but as a wrestler, that dude was a phenomenal wrestler.
Even Paul Heyman has said the same thing. Like as a wrestler, Paul Heyman loved him, but as a person, fuck him. So Paul Heyman.
I actually had the honor of seeing like Chris Benoit wrestle for my first wrestling event. He actually wrestled Edge. It was dope.
Holy shit.
It was like dope. It was like Edge was cutting this promo, and then it was awesome. Chris Benoit just grabs the microphone out of his hand and he's like, "Wine, bitch, moan."
I remember when we used to be down with the Four Horsemen.
Oh yeah, Four Horsemen, and like I love the NWO and DX, but the Four Horsemen in the '80s, that is classic shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going too far back. I probably haven't watched that.
Yeah, Four Horsemen were great. NWO was great. DX was great.
Yeah, but Four Horsemen. Whew.
Here's a question for you both. Who would be your most favorite tag team of all time?
It would probably be, yes, I know everyone's going to say that's everyone's saying it. It would have to be with probably either the Hardy Boys or the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, probably doing 3D.
Mine is the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is one of them. That's like one of my favorite classics. And then when Kane and Undertaker teamed up as like the Brothers of Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Which I actually had the privilege of watching them actually wrestle each other during a show too.
Noise. I've never got to see. I think I got to see Kane wrestle once. I don't think I've ever gotten to see The Undertaker though. I don't think.
Yeah, at the time I seen Kane wrestle The Undertaker, it was when Paul Heyman came back for a bit, and Kane was like the world heavyweight champion. It was just dope. Yeah. You know, Stone Cold's also one of my top favorite wrestlers. It's fucking Stone Cold.
Never got to see him either. I got to see Jericho. That was awesome.
And that's one thing about the UK. There's like so much talented wrestlers that are even coming out of the UK.
Yep.
The one that they didn't utilize really well that I still get pissed off at that they should have pushed more was not Bray Wyatt, Wade Barrett. That dude was entertaining as fuck.
I would agree with both of those names regardless if he meant Bray Wyatt or not.
But yes, I do love Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is a phenomenal character.
For him being a big dude and being able to do the things that he did.
Mm-hmm. He kind of reminds me of more like modern day Bam Bam Bigelow or Yokozuna.
Yes. But yeah, Wade Barrett, they should have used him more. Like, my favorite gimmick was when he would do that, where he's like, "Oh, I got some bad news."
Bad News Barrett.
One of my favorite UK wrestlers was probably the British Bulldog. But I didn't really know William Regal.
Hell yeah. William Regal, I always said, is the UK's basically Ric Flair when you look at it.
I could agree with that. William Regal is a phenomenal talent.
Very charismatic.
To be honest, I feel like he's underrated in some regard, William Regal.
Yes.
So yeah, me and Kevin are working on this new album, The Tortured Circle. We had a bit of a setback because we're not going to go into it at the moment, but one of the members was a no-show, so we've basically had to take like about 7-8 tracks and scrap them because obviously an album with just me and Kevin on it, you know, it's gonna happen, but we just got to work as 2 people now instead of 3. So we're just going to figure out.
Of hip hop.
Yep.
For those who are wondering about the name of the album, the group's name is Tortured Circle. The album is Vigilantes of Hip Hop.
Hell yeah. And how did you guys come up with the group name Tortured Circle? What was the inspiration behind that?
Kev didn't like it at first.
I didn't. We were just brainstorming names, and he threw that one at me. And at first, I was like, I don't know. But after a while, it grew on me.
Like a double entendre, like torch, your circle, tortured circle. So it's like double entendre, really. So we want to finish that off. I'm going to do the production on there. I've done already 10 beats. So we'll probably go through the 10 beats and go, okay, we'll use this. If not, we'll probably hit some other producers up. I'm working on my own solo project, which I've already got 24 songs. So I'm just going through them, see what's the best, see what's going to fit on there. But the most death rap. I'm trying to stray away from my older material and just try something different. Like,
oh, yeah, and I like that when artists like try something different. I like diversity. Like, yeah, it's good when someone's in their comfort zone, but when someone can step outside that zone, I like it. Like one of a rapper that I know, like Mr. Dosha, he's known for like doing conscious rap and just storytelling. He stepped inside his element and decided to try like a dark rap song for the first time, and he nailed it. I'm like, see, that's what people need to do more, is they need to step outside their element a little bit and see what they can do, because you never know. Another example, Tech-9. That dude is multi-talented. That dude can rap. He can sing. He can do a straight metal song. He can rap over metal instrumentals.
I've always been like dark. I've always been hardcore. But I've always tried the storytelling be a bit more more pop. But it just doesn't suit me. And I thought, well, I prefer this material over that material. So now I'm like going through the list of my songs. Like I like rapping motivational songs that motivate people. I like rapping about what I've been through in my life, but a lot of it's a bit too personal, and it's open to what I've been through in my life. It's kind of difficult. I'll probably go through it another time, like what I've been through the last 7 years, because it took Kevin to get me to start rapping again with what's happened to me lately. So now coming out of that dark place I was in, where it was just depression. But yeah, we'll get past that, on a depression. And right, look, even doing dark songs now, it still feels fun to me. It feels good. I know that sounds twisted, but sometimes writing some dark stuff, it helps you. And sometimes
it's very therapeutic when you look at it.
Yeah, sometimes writing positive songs, it fucks you up, because you listen to them back and like, well, I don't feel like this. And I listen to something dark and I'm like, well, I feel better. It's fucked up. It doesn't make sense. But when you're a rapper and you're voting, and then you listen back, you're like, it does make sense. Sometimes, being nice and being kind, it doesn't always do the way. I've tried doing it and it doesn't suit me at all. But I'm still trying to find my way, my voice in this music, and try and find where I'm supposed to go. And doing this tortured circle with Kev, we should hopefully find our voice, what we want to come into.
And what would you call like your style, Kevin? Like, what would you say your style is? Like, is it very similar, or do you have your own style too? Because that's one thing I like about groups, is like when people can like have their own style. Like Dog Pound, they're a group, but they both have their own unique sound and flow. Wu-Tang Clan, Outkast is a perfect example.
Yep. I don't really know how to label it. I would just, for me, it's very similar to like Benny Paz and A$AP Rock, because those are like my two biggest influences as far as rap goes. So I'd say my style lead more towards sounding like those two.
Oh yeah. And that's one thing I like about groups. So it sounds like you guys have both like your own unique style, and that matches well. Like people think that doesn't match well. I'm like, do people not know? Like Outkast, they both sounded completely different. Andre 3000 was like this goofy, hyphy shit, and then you had the dude who was talking about being a gangster and whatnot. So that matched well together.
Yeah.
Whoa, another perfect example, ICP. People think they're the same, but Jay and Shaggy have their own unique flow and style too, and they match well together.
They definitely do.
They complement each other, and that's what me and Kev are trying to find right now, is complement each other. We had a third member, but it didn't work out, and now we just got to scrap the thing and be like, okay, these are the tracks we're going to work with, and hopefully something dope comes out of it. So in the meanwhile, we're just waiting now to get this album out and finish it up. I've got the most of the beats done, but obviously with me, I have to talk about Tortured Circle, not about our solo shit, but yeah, man.
Yeah, we have a good question, like in the chat, like from the lovely Lake Chaos. It says, so you're both in the States or in the UK, you're always across the pond from each other. How does that collab work? Like, yeah, how do you guys like work with each other? Do you guys like, how do you guys balance your schedules out and stuff? And do you guys like send your stuff to each other?
well, me and Kev have been friends for like 7 years, so we talk every couple of days, and we're always bouncing back and forth ideas, what we like. If Kev don't like something, he says, nah, I don't like that. If I don't like something, I don't like that. And it's just talking, communication. That's the best way, communication. I mean, you can live next door to somebody, you might not have the best communication in the world, but when you understand each other with music and hip-hop, it doesn't matter. You both send each other a beat, you write your lyrics, record your song before everybody hears it, and it's the best way to do it. I mean, that's how everything's done nowadays. A lot of people don't even go in the studio with each other. It'd be cool. I mean, I wish I lived next door to Kev because I'd probably do his fucking editing.
Right.
Yeah, I miss those days when like artists would actually go to the studio and work together, and you would see that dope footage of artists working in the studio together. That was dope.
Yeah, that would be nice, but yeah, as of right now, it's mostly just been like conversating through like Facebook Messenger and email.
That's basically how a lot of music's done now when you look at
it.
It'd be cool. It'd be brilliant if I lived next door to Kev. I mean, we'd probably have this album out by now, or you know, Kev could be pushing me a bit more with my pen, and you know, it'd be much easier.
And where in the UK did you say you were from again, man?
I'm from Tipton, from the Birmingham, the home of Judas Priest, Ozzy Osbourne.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Make sure to check him out on SoundCloud, by the way.
Yeah, man. One, as in the number one, Matt. I am Matt. I couldn't use I am Matt. Someone's already got the friggin' SoundCloud, man. Or,
yeah, it's amazing how much like the industry's changed. Like not always in a negative way, in a good way. Nowadays, you don't have to wait too long for something to come out. Nowadays, you have to constantly put something out, whether it's a full-length album, a single, a mixtape, an EP. Yep. Nowadays, you have to constantly be putting something out, which that's cool, but at the same time, you have to like really work yourself. But it is cool because now you get so much dope music like coming out and stuff. You don't have to like wait years for an album, which was fun back then, but also the anticipation would kill you basically.
Because I'm literally like a nobody underground rapper, and it's like I'll get a few followers, I get a few listens, I get a few shares. I don't ever pay for like promotion. I always keep it real. Someone leave a comment, they hate it, they love it, and I'm always like.
Hence why I said to check out the SoundCloud.
Cheers, bro. And I'm always putting a song out once a week. I mean, I'm used to putting songs out daily, whether it's like a snippet of the song or a full song. And I'll drop like 3 verses, or do 2 16s or 32 and a 32. But always putting out music, bro, and hoping people will give it a listen. But I produce as well, so I've been producing for 20 years beats, and I've produced with a few people. I've done a collab with Nino Brown, and it didn't go too far. I've sold a few beats over the years, but to make the profitable income off it is fucking, it's hard work, man. And you know, if people out there listening, you know, you need a beat, come on with me, because I've got beats for days, man. You've got whatever you need.
Hell yeah. And what would you guys say you're like each, because everyone has their own creative like process, like what is both of yours like creative writing process? Do you guys like listen to like the beat first, or do you just like listen to like background music for like influence? What is like your guys' creative writing process?
For me, I usually tend to listen to a beat first, and then if I can think of stuff that goes with the beat, then I'll do it. And then if I'm not feeling the beat, it's like, all right, not feeling that beat, on to the next one. I gotta feel the beat in order to really want to write to it. But typically, that's how I do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, loads, man. I sit in the kitchen and battle myself, beat start to myself, try and find my rhythm, try and find where the flow wants to go. If I make the beat, and usually while making the beat, I've already ripped that to pieces. I've already am I going double time on it? Am I putting 4-4-4-4-4-4, 4-4-4-4-4, or if it's 100 BPM and it's a quicker beat, I can't be too fast on it, and I've got to slow it down. It depends on the beat, bro. But it's finding us, like, you could write like 4 bars, and after them 4 bars, well, I've found where this song's going now. Or you could just come up with a hook. You could write a fucking 16-bar song, and then your hook will come after them 16 bars. So after that, you go, oh, I found where this song's going. Let me alter these 16 bars now to match this song. So that's a little tip for people out there that are starting rapping, is that when you write your 16, don't write it with a motive of this is how the song's going to come out, because you're boxing yourself in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
But write your 16 bars, try and find a hook. So some people say, write the hook first. Whatever works for you, man. But what works for me is I write 16 bars, make the hook, and then alter them 16 bars to the hook, and then you could do 3 verses, 2 verses. But that's the art. That's part of the craft. That's part of hip hop, is finding, like Eminem says, it's a puzzle, and trying to find that puzzle now to figure it out.
Exactly. Like, you gotta find words that mash well together and stuff.
Well, yeah, man, like your cadence, your multi-syllable. Sometimes you don't need to write more. Like,
yeah.
You know, I could go on for hours about fucking rhyming. Probably another time. Probably come on here another time and actually sit down and write a song while I'm on here, like.
Hell yeah. And what?
I can just go on for hours, bro. So that's why I'm in love with it. In love with this music. Even if I never make it, even if I never get like 1,000 followers, I'll still be making music, you know. So I'm in a wheelchair. I'm in a pension. Like.
Oh yeah, and that's cool, because music, you know, is always like a good form of therapy. It's a good form of like art, basically.
Yep.
Like, people don't realize this is people's art. Some people do this as a form of just therapy, like it's a type of poetry that's been around for years.
Well, it's got me through so much shit. It's got me through. I don't want to get into it now, probably another time, but it's got me through so much, so much crap.
Mm-hmm. Like
off medication, everything, man. Just get you through.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Tupac. He was like not just a good rapper. That dude was like a poet. His like poems, like, it's so dope. Like, they're teaching a lot of his poetry in colleges now. That is dope.
Yeah. The came to the misplaced microphone. I mean, when I heard that as a kid, it was on like what was the music share web? I don't know what the website was back in the day. You could download MP3s, and some dudes were spitting the misplaced microphone on there, and I still can't find it to this day. And, man, he was a poet. Brenda's Got a Baby. Oof, man, he was a poet.
And that's one thing I liked about Tupac, is he was so diverse. He could do personal shit, stuff that made you think. He could do some straight street shit, and he could do that party shit. He was very well-rounded too, not just as an artist, but like as a person. He was like a very great actor too. Like, in my opinion, he was a very underrated actor. You know, that is a classic movie, or Poetic Justice.
Who's that with Janet Jackson? Was that Janet Jackson?
I believe, yeah, it was. I believe so.
Oh man, I never seen that.
One of your guys is like, if you guys had to choose, what's like your favorite hip hop or urban like street movie, or if you guys had to pick, what are like, would you say is like very good documentaries that define hip hop? Like, for me, one of my favorite hip hop documentaries is the Netflix series I love, Hip Hop Evolution, because it covers everything. And then I do love The Art of Rap, Why We Do It, which was Ice-T's very first like documentary / movie he directed.
Oh,
that was dope.
Yeah, man. That going back to that Netflix thing, Evolution of Hip Hop. Necro was supposed to be on that, and I haven't seen it yet. He's recorded everything for it. But them showing all the mainstream, ain't they? I mean, they got it, ain't they?
It actually covers everything. The early days of hip hop, then it goes into the 90s, and then it talks about even the independent battle rap scene in hip hop, which is dope. So it covers everything. It is dope. So you would love it.
The Art of the Freestyle, the Ice-T, that was brilliant. Watching how the roots of hip hop started.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible. It's just incredible. XL was on there. I don't know why Kanye West was on there, but Kanye West was on there.
Yeah, like watching like Rakim, like showing like because you barely see what his writing process was, and for Ice-T to be able to capture like what the legendary Rakim does with his writing process, it's freaking dope because I love Rakim.
Mate, incredible.
Rakim is like one of my like other all-time like favorite MCs of all time.
Yeah, same, man.
And then when Nas came out, basically people said Nas was like the second coming of Rakim.
Do you like Cool G Rap?
I do love Cool G Rap.
You've got to, man. Godfather, the top 4.
I have like a long list, but some of my top favorite rappers are, of course, Ice Cube. I love Tupac, Nas, and then my 4th would be MF Doom.
Fair play.
And if I had to throw in a like 5th, it would just be KRS-One. That dude is dope.
Yeah, man. Got to clear these rappers out. Oh, yeah. I loved it when he went against fucking Nelly. That was brilliant. That was. That's how I'm going back. Fucking KRS-One dissing Nelly. That was fucking brilliant.
I remember that.
Tone Deaf, man.
Yeah. And what if you guys have like been to like some shows? What are like your favorite like shows or concerts that you guys went to? Like my very first like rap hip hop concert that I went to, this was like 2005, so I was just graduated middle school. So the first thing I seen, and this is always a dope line that people tell me, I saw Chamillionaire. If people remember that name back in the day, Paul Wall, which I love Chamillionaire. That dude had bars. And then I saw 40, Twista, and Snoop Dogg all in the same night.
Holy shit. That's
ICP for me.
Yeah. Probably Yellow Wolf. I think Yellow Wolf in Birmingham in 2010. The Academy. That was a brilliant night.
Yeah, I seen Yellow Wolf live. I saw him at the Gathering 2018. That dude, he was having fireworks thrown at him, and he was still performing. It was dope. That dude's a badass. To know that he would still perform even when stuff is being thrown at him, that dude's a badass. He was encouraging it too. He even took a rigor mortis to the face, and he still performed.
Holy shit. I want to see Necro. When's Necro going to come back to the UK?
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I haven't seen many concerts. Unfortunately, I've seen Def Leppard, I've seen Motley Crue, I've seen Kiss, I've seen Twisted, and I've seen ICP, and that's the extent.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind seeing A$AP Rock though. That would be awesome to see A$AP Rock.
Oh yeah, we've been saying for years that A$AP Rock needs to come to the Gathering. Because there is a lot of juggalos that I do know.
Gathering.
I know a lot of juggalos who love A$AP Rock. I'm one of them. And that's the cool thing about the Gathering is there's even a lot of old school like hip hop artists that play there. You know, like Ice Cube's played there. You've had Cypher Hill perform there. When I went one year was when Bone Thugs and Ghetto Boys played there. It was dope.
Scarface.
Yep, Scarface is dope.
Bill. Fucking rest in peace. I think he died, didn't he?
Like the greatest lineup that I've seen at the Gathering. This is just such a phenomenal lineup in one night, especially when it comes to hip hop. You had KRS-One performing, then you had Ghetto Boys performing, then you had Jedi Mind Tricks performing, which that's dope because I was mosh pitting to them, and then of course you had ICP closing. Tell me that is not a dope lineup.
It is. It's another one I wouldn't mind seeing.
I remember that's how I bruised my rib. I was like, I bruised my rib during Jedi Mind Tricks, but I don't care.
This is why we should group in like the States, because I probably would have been a Juggalo, but I was more of a maggot. I was more in Slipknot.
Oh yeah, I love Slipknot. We love Slipknot in this household. Like, yes, I was good, but in me and my fiance's personal opinion, that first self-titled Slipknot album from front to back is phenomenal.
I agree.
And they are just, what drummer do you know can be in a cage and play the drums upside down? That dude is a genius.
Holy shit.
David Joey Jordison.
Yeah, I always tell people that about Joey Jordison. I'm like, what other drummer do you know that can do that? That is just dope.
He was also the drummer for the Murder Dolls, which is another band that I really like. And I think he was the drummer and the guitar player, actually.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Joey and Paul. That still just sucks.
Yeah.
I'm more into George Forward now. More than anything.
Yeah, I would still love to see Slipknot live, even if they don't have some of the original members still. But I'd still love to see them live because I heard their live show is phenomenal.
A band that I would love to see live is Gwar.
Yes, Gwar is entertaining. I've seen them at the Gathering. That shit is entertaining. That, like, they'll have people dressed like Nazis on stage, and then they'll like decapitate them on stage and beat the shit out of them. Like, one year they did that, like, with these lookalikes for Trump and Hillary Clinton. I'm like, yes! And then they're just spraying blood on the crowd. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm liking that.
Always wanted to see Gwar.
Yeah, not just like rock bands, but that's one thing I'm starting to love is like a lot of rappers, like it's been around for years, but a lot of people are doing that. But a lot more rappers are bringing theatrics to their show, and I love that shit. Like, we can, of course, say ICP is known for their theatrics. Kevin knows all about this. Even if you don't like the music, but when you see their live show, it is fucking phenomenal.
Yep, it's unforgettable, without a doubt.
Yep, I even took my mom, and she's not a fan of the music. But when I took her, she had fun. She's like, now I know why you like them, because they put on a great live show. I'm like, yes, they do.
And they really do.
I think I'd be in some mind-altering state if I went there. Literally.
Which ICP is even popular in the UK. I think just a few years ago, they were actually playing in the UK, I believe.
I do believe they did, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty big in the UK, but they can't bring Faygo with them. They because it's the soda thing, so they have to when they go to like Europe and stuff, they have to use like a knockoff brand of like Faygo or something, or some cheap brand. I don't know what they use, but it's like something based in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been down with the Clown. Like, I like the music, amazing. I've never really been a Juggalo.
Oh yeah, and I've known people like that too, who like the music, but they don't associate with the Juggalo too. And I tell people, some people think because with people like me and Kevin and other people that were Juggalos that we just like ICP. I'm like, no, we have love and appreciation for all types of music.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Because music has always been a part of my life since I was a kid. You know, I grew up listening to Ozzy, The Who, The Beatles, all that classic stuff. You know, Prince, Michael Jackson back in the day.
Yeah, it's like I even tell people my most favorite style of music is punk. Yes, I like ICP, but my most favorite style of music is punk rock. Always has been, always will be.
And that's something I noticed. You notice how like hip hop and punk like just mash perfectly together. They're like distant cousins.
Yep, exactly.
I've always said that punk is like it's like, because it's also known as street rock, and that's kind of like what hip hop is known for. It's known as music for the streets. So I think that's why they mash well together. And they talk about the same topics like anti-racism, sometimes fuck the establishment type shit.
Yep,
they are both literally the same.
Yeah,
like Beastie Boys are known for doing rock and hip hop. So is Run DMC. Beastie Boys were known as a punk rock group before they delved more into hip hop.
Yeah.
Rick
They
Rubin.
were like the first. Yes, Cottonmouth Kings are dope. I'm sorry, Cottonmouth Kings, but you are still a ripoff of the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys were the first punk rock hip hop group, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and they did it flawlessly.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I love Cottonmouth Kings, but I think I would always just joke because I like to have good fun. I was like, they're just a ripoff of the Beastie Boys.
So who's your favorite hip hop group?
The hip hop group of all time, my all time favorite, because every one of their albums is very different, is Outkast. And then I love Wu-Tang Clan and then Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
Like
mine would be
Wu-Tang
Tribe
Clan,
Called Quest.
what I love about Wu-Tang is not only that when you would have a Wu-Tang album, then you have their solo work. They have so much work. It's dope. Like, everyone loves Only Built for Cuban Links. That is a good Wu-Tang solo number 2. But my top favorite one is Liquid Swords by GZA. That one is very underrated.
It's a great album.
Who's your favorite?
That's one thing I always loved about Wu-Tang, because they sample like Kung Fu and martial arts flicks that I used to watch on TV, like reruns of.
And for me, it'd be Tribe Called Quest. That's mine. It'd probably be Tribe Called Quest and then probably Wu-Tang Clan, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And if I want to go West Coast, I would go NWA, and then Dog Pound, and then let's see. Of course, the Loonies. Who doesn't love the Loonies?
5 on it. Yeah.
And then, of course, Cypress Hill. I love Cypress Hill.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Funk Dubious. House of Pain was just really just what Everlast. Funk Dubious was all right. Rakim and Eric B.
Yeah, I love Rakim and Eric B.
Here's one for you, Don. Dark Lotus.
Yes, Dark Lotus was phenomenal. Like, I've always told people, like, as far as like supergroup, that was always like one of my favorite supergroups. Like, yes, I love Raidas, but Lotus spoke to me a lot more because the spiritual aspect, you know, because my beliefs, the conspiracy theories, shit, and all that, you know, all about that occultic type shit.
So you into conspiracy theories as well, Don?
What?
Are you into conspiracy theories as well?
Some conspiracy theories I can say, okay, that makes sense. And then some people go a little too overboard. I'm like, okay, that just makes no sense. Yep. But then some I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then some I'm like, no.
I might sound like a complete idiot, but I'm into like the Antarctic War and the flat Earth theory. Like, I have never been into space, because every time they show space, it's always NASA lying, or it's usually a fisheye lens. So, like, I'm open to believe the Earth is round, but I might sound like a complete idiot, but I've been into that lately, like the flat Earth theory. I don't believe in it.
Oh yeah, I don't believe in that flat Earth theory. And there's a reason why, because I can confirm or deny that. That's all you guys need to know. There's no speculation about me. Just saying.
Yeah, like, I don't believe in it, and I might believe in it. It's just one of them things. It's like that. I'm into, like, I think it was Lieutenant Colonel Byrd, about how he visited Antarctica, and he said the Earth is flat, and you get all these pilots talking about it, saying there's no curvature, and I'm like, well, let me look into this. So I'm into like conspiracy theories like that.
Yeah, and I just like the theory of even like, I've always loved like the ancient alien theory, because it makes sense for people who say, oh no, I was like, there is proof right there. And like I tell people, there's always some truth, and people have always said this, there's always some truth to mythology, but people could only describe stuff back then as best as they could.
How did they build the pyramids? Bro, it's like, they can't still explain it. They say it was hit with the a flood from the Scablands, which hit the Earth. of many thousand years ago.
Yeah, like my favorite like series of all time. I love Ancient Aliens. That show was fucking dope. I've shown some people episodes of that show and they were like, damn, mind blown.
Have you seen the one with Graham Hancock?
I don't think so.
He goes to the I don't know where it is in America, and he got banned from there filming it, and it's where this snake pattern is. Oh, somebody might know better than me. Frigging crazy, man. They banned him because he was exposing it, saying you didn't build this. Well, you didn't claim this. This is made before your time, and they just banned him, man. But you can just listen to I listened to Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock interview. It was mind blowing.
Check that out.
Yeah, mind blowing because Graham Hancock from the UK and he's like a journalist. And he goes into how the Mayans, everything, man. You just think, look, I'll go on for hours about that stuff. It just blows your mind, man.
Oh yeah, and people don't realize. Yes, like there was those other cultures, but some cultures back then, people were more even advanced back then than they are today. And some of the stuff that people say is an original idea, I'm like, no, there was already an idea like that. Like when people say the light bulb, I'm like, no, the Egyptians had something that was like a light bulb. And then you have the oldest battery in the world, which is 1,000 years old, and it was found in the Middle East, in Iraq, and it is the oldest known battery in history. It is dope.
Man, it's crazy.
And then in like Greece, they found what is known as like what would be considered a tablet or even a laptop and a computer in today's term. It's crazy.
Like, I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in Bible and all that. I always ask questions. There's someone to check out who's good is Aaron Barr, and he does the phylogenic challenge. And that's basically where do we come from. That's a good channel to check out.
Yeah, and then like people try to throw out that scene saying genetic engineering is not a made up thing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually a very real thing. I'm like, it's not far from fake. I was like, yes, it seems fake when you watch Jurassic Park, but when you have an open mind, genetic engineering is actually a very real thing that can be done.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's mental.
And that's why I tell people how it's weird how we can just start from being these primitive beings to go from that to being advanced in just a short amount of time. There is a missing gap there.
Well, definitely wasn't Adam and Eve, bro.
Well, and I was like, maybe they were Adam and Eve, but they were maybe a creation of something. And that's why I tell people, and everyone's always said, there is some truth to like mythology. You just got to look at it, the mythology, from more of an open mind and be like, oh, like from a technological standpoint, and go, okay, beings coming from the sky. Okay, they're seen as divine, but then it's like, oh, that's maybe what they thought back then. But when you look at it from a technological standpoint, you're like, makes sense.
Well, I've seen a UFO. Before drones, right before drones, me and my nephew was in a field, and it's got to be 07. And if it's drones, it was definitely military. But and all you see is just above us, a bright fucking star and shining blue light. We looked away, and it was Bombo. Like, I bet you millions of people got stories about seeing UFOs or ghosts and stuff like that, but that's a whole other subject. I don't want to drift on.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing I'm very into also, is like the paranormal type shit.
It's real, bro. It's real as we're sitting here, bro. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, like there's a UK like paranormal investigation group that I watch on YouTube. I forget, Ghost Tech Paranormal. That's what I watch. They're like from the UK, and they're like a paranormal investigation group, and they find some very compelling like proof evidence of the paranormal.
Have you ever encountered anything ghostly like?
I have dealt with paranormal stuff because I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, which I always tell people there's a big difference.
Movies, man. Have you seen?
Oh yeah, multiple times. More times than I could.
I've seen some shit. I had to draw like something that I like seen in a dream or a nightmare, and the teacher said draw something that you've seen in a dream or vividly. So I literally drew the devil and like, this is really what you've seen in a dream? I'm like, yes. And they're like, damn.
Oh man, that's a whole nother subject, man. Get into that all day. But yeah, man. Besides music, I do like video games as well. I do coding, like C# and the pixel art and stuff like that. Just trying to change the subject a bit because it's a bit that's a sensitive ghost and that, man. I don't really like messing with that stuff. I talk about it, man. I talk about all day, but sensitive subject, man.
So what is actually, that is a good question to ask that we usually ask our guests. What is like your guys' like favorite foods that you can never get tired of eating? Even if people say, don't you ever get tired of eating that? And go, nope, I'll eat it for eternity for the rest of my life.
Pasta.
Fuck yeah.
Egg fried rice.
Yeah.
Bit of a chef, so.
And, that and Reuben's. I love Reuben's, my most favorite sandwich.
Oh, yeah. I love Reuben's too.
What's that?
Like Reuben's, it's basically like, it's like corned beef, and then it's with like, describe it, Kevin.
Looks spam.
Yeah, it's dark rye with corned beef, and then it's got Thousand Island dressing, Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut.
So good.
Nice.
A lot of people tell me they don't like sauerkraut. They can't eat it plain. I'm like, I'll do it. I'll heat it up. I'll mix it with my mashed potatoes, and it's fucking good.
Exactly.
And then, of course, I love like Mexican food. I love some Cuban food. Ooh, Cuban food, especially since I moved down here to Florida. Cuban food. Oh my god.
I just love me Chinese food, man. Cook everything at home. So you see, in the state women at the moment, you can't get takeaways, can't afford that crap down here now. It's just mostly just cook your own food. I mean, you're better off really cooking your own food.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I've learned is like a lot more foreign food. I noticed a lot of it is more healthier than American food.
Get a couple eggs, some broccoli, bacon, some rice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Now you're making me hungry. Shut up.
I know. I'm making myself hungry too because I haven't eaten yet.
It's all good, man.
And another question we usually ask people is like, what is like your like top like favorite TV shows of all time that you can never get tired of watching?
Okay, hold on. I got 3 for you.
Okay.
Supernatural.
Hell yeah.
Cobra Kai. And Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
I'll be Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos is phenomenal. That show was a game changer because now every show, if you notice, has the Sopranos formula. Every show feels like a little mini movie, like you're watching one long ass movie now. And you gotta thank the Sopranos for that.
I never got into Peaky Blinders because I'm from Black Country, so Peaky Blinders was like shot up the vault for me by the Black Country Museum. And I never really got into that. Shock. You guys watch Peaky Blinders?
I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite shows that my fiance recently got me into because there's a streaming service we watch. It's called Brit TV, so it's all like British like TV. And the best show she's got me into, it's like British slapstick humor. It's called like Are You Being Served? Like that show could not air today because people would be too fucking offended by it.
Oh, I was more into like Monty Python, Blackadder.
Oh yeah. Well, then if you
Bean.
love Monty Python, you would love Are You Being Served? It's Are You Being Served? It's just like that. It's like Monty Python slapstick British humor. It's so funny.
You know what's a very good British show? It's a little bit more old school. So if you like the more old school shows, Keeping Up Appearances.
Yes. And another show was so stupidly stupid, but it was entertaining as fuck. Was the Mr. Bean show?
I love me, Mr. Bean. Man, Mr. Bean's the GOAT.
Yep.
He is. He's hilarious.
I can watch Mr. Bean even when I'm sad, even when I'm depressed. Mr. Bean.
I know. When I'm sad, depressed, I watch Mr. Bean, and I was like, God, this dude is such an idiot, but he's funny as hell.
Have you watched Man vs. Bee?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, watch it. It's just like Mr. Bean, but he talks. And he's in it. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he's like in this rich person's house. Have you watched Mr. Bean movie?
Yes.
With the painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that. But he's in this rich person's house and he's got to look after it, and he fucks the shit out of it. He's got to watch it, man. It's class.
Yeah, I remember watching like the Mr. Bean movie, and like the part that always cracks me up is when he learns how to flip people off, and he's just flipping everyone off, not knowing what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a class film, that is. But yes,
or the scene where he's like performing surgery and stuff.
With the M&Ms, he drops it into the patient and picks it. Oh, man.
Yeah, and then he takes the bullet out and then he tries to just put it back in. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love the part where he's like, they go to the fun fair and he goes, what the hell are you doing? He goes, brace yourself. And they all start flying off the chairs.
Yeah, that shit makes me laugh my ass off. That dude is a comic genius. And my other favorite comedian of all time is like Dave Chappelle. That dude is a comic genius.
I love this old school stuff. His old stuff. Love these old school stuff.
I think one of my most favorite for stand-up anyways, back when he used to do stand-up, rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Yes, Robin Williams, like, yes, his acting was good, but when you look up his raunchy adult stand-up comedy, it's fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one that always makes me and my fiance laugh is his bit where he's talking about golf. That shit is funny.
Yes.
With Scottish accents. Oh,
yeah, that shit is fucking hilarious.
Fucking stroke. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, Robin Williams, that dude was a goat.
Yeah,
and he was multi-talented too. He could be funny. Yeah. He could make you laugh. He could be in those serious movies that get you in the feels. And then he could be a very creepy ass dude in some movies.
Yep.
Like I finally seen 1 Hour Picture Show, that movie with him. You felt bad for him, but he was creepy as hell in that movie.
That film's messed up, man.
I know, that movie tripped me out. I'm like, what?
I think one of my most favorite movies with him was Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, I heard that's a good one.
It is.
And I don't care what anyone says, he played Popeye really good. He got the voice tone right, and it's entertaining as fuck. And it's funny, like how a lot of people get offended in today's world, but when Mrs. Doubtfire came out, no one got offended by that, and that movie is a classic.
It is. He played that role perfectly in that movie too.
Yep. Oh, which was written by a fruiting. There was supposed to be a sequel to that movie, but it never happened.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, my favorite movies, though, that he's done that gets me in the feels is What Dreams May Come, Bicentennial Man, where he's a robot that wants to be human. That movie, God, that movie is heartwarming.
Patch Adams was good.
And then I like Jack, where he's like an older man, but he's like a little kid in a grown man's body. It's a really dope. It's a sad movie, too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for me, it'd be Good Morning Vietnam. Flubber. I love Flubber.
Yes.
And then I believe it's called Birdcage, I believe is the name of it.
Mm-hmm. And he even did phenomenal voices. Like, I mean, the dude did the genie in Aladdin. It's dope.
Yep.
Yeah. Hook was good.
Which I believe, if I recall correctly, he freeballed most of that. Like,
yep.
A lot of it was just off the top of the dome.
Exactly, and that's one thing I liked about Robin Williams is even when you've heard him like sing, even when he's doing it comedic, the dude could sing.
Yep.
Like at the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire, when he's like singing the famous like opera song Figaro, I'm like, a lot of people don't know that's literally actual Robin Williams singing, so that dude could sing.
Yep.
Yeah, What Dreams May Come, that movie will make you cry. I don't care who you are.
Well, tough film.
How about comedic singers? You got any of them that you like? I like Stephen Lynch.
Yes.
And Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's got some funny ones.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love like Adam Sandler's comedy, and who doesn't love Happy Gilmore? Come on.
Sohan.
I think my most favorite movie of his is 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, that movie's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good Christmas movie too.
Yep.
Speaking of comedians, another dope comedian actor, which we found out is now finally retiring from cinema, is the great Jim Carrey.
He's retiring, huh?
Yeah, he said he's finally gonna now no longer be acting, which I can see why because if there's an interview where he said why, it's because he says with the way Hollywood's been being lately, it just makes him depressed, and he's been like just being an artist, like he paints and draws, and the dude's a great painter and drawer.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one thing I wish we could have seen growing up is imagine if back in the 90s we got a Robin Williams and Jim Carrey movie together. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Oh, hell yeah. I think for me, Jim Carrey wise, I think the best character he ever played, I love the way he portrayed the Riddler.
Yes.
He's my favorite when it comes to the Riddler.
Yeah, you know Robin Williams was originally going to play the Riddler too at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when I look back on it, I'm like, you know what? He probably would have nailed that role because he's played pretty creepy roles sometimes.
Yeah. Well, look how crazy AI is getting. One day, AI is just going to make movies that ain't been made or remake movies. Look, imagine AI making a Streets of the Rage movie. I mean,
right?
We've got a Street Fighter movie, which Street Fighter movie is fucking amazing. But one day, AI is basically going to watch that film, study it, and make it even better.
I laugh at some of that AI stuff, like when I watch YouTube videos and people like use that AI voice. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm on about the art. Within the art stuff they can do.
Oh yeah, the art. Some of those AIs have created some art, and then some of those art things have turned out very creepy as fuck.
There's some crazy stuff on it, man. Crazy stuff.
One of my friends like did an AI thing, and he just typed in creepy couches, and there was some creepy shit.
Well, they have to ban it, don't they? Through the cons of the gore. Imagine people was allowed to access that with all the gore and that. Oh my days.
Right.
This good. No.
Oh yeah, that's another classic stand-up comedian, George Carlin. Yes, R.I.P.
Yeah, man.
I love George Carlin. That dude was funny.
I love the skits when he does about God. That was good.
Yes.
Well, on the topic of movies, you got a favorite movie of all time? I do.
Mine would be like if I had to choose some movies of all time. Like this is hard, but if I had to just name one right now at the top of my head, it's The Godfather.
Mine is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Hell yeah.
That's funny. Pick my favorite film. I've got to pick one film. That's too hard, man. It's too hard.
Yeah, that's like me. It's always hard for me to decide because I have to be in the mood. Like, I love all types of cinema, but my top favorite are like anything that tells a good story and then comedy. Like, I love horror, but I like old school horror, and I'm very picky when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah,
I think
I never really got
Redemption
big
would probably be
into horror movies. I think the only horror movie I ever really liked growing up was Candyman.
Oh, that movie creeped me out, and it still does to this day. The new one fucked with me heavily. Me and my fiance were like, oh my god, that is fucking creepy. We're like, you know something's creepy, like in a good way when we're entertained, when we're like, oh hell no, when we watch that.
Uh-huh.
Or when I go, fuck that shit.
Yep, I thought it was cool. They did that Tony Todd played a little cameo at the end.
Yes.
The original Candyman.
Yep, like a lot of people aren't one for like remakes or sequels, but that remake of Candyman or sequel, whatever you want to call it, was creepy as fuck.
They did a good job. They did.
They did.
I wasn't as big into it as I was with the original first movie, but when it comes to the second and third from back in the day, those were nothing compared to the original, and the newer one definitely made up for it.
Now, Insidious, that movie scared the shit out of me, and it still does. Like, any movie that's, like, even also, like, the horror movies that are inspired by true events, those are the ones that creep me out.
Yeah, I love The Exorcist.
But I like being scared. That's how I like to be entertained, too.
Another movie series that I'm really big into, aside from the newer one sucked. Paranormal Activity.
Yes. Of course, who doesn't love Star Wars? I know Kevin really loves Star Wars too.
Mate, conspiracy theory to that. Mate, there's conspiracy theory to that.
Oh yeah, when you read the crazy theories about Star Wars, that shit is just, it's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like not conspiracy theory, but like theory-wise, like about like the story in general. It's cool.
Here's one for you. How about the conspiracy theory Jar Jar Binks is the real Darth Lord?
I mean, that does make sense.
It does.
Well, they said he was originally supposed to be like the anti-Yoda. Because when we first meet Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, we think he's just this crazy, goofy old man. And then later on in the film, you find out he's very strong and powerful and very smart and wise. Jar Jar was supposed to be like that. He was supposed to be seen as just this idiot when we first meet him, and you're like, oh, he was manipulating everyone.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard the theory where Yoda is basically like based on a creature what certain sects worship, like certain cults worship, like he's supposed to be like this Buddha you look up to, like an alien sort of thing.
Yep.
But, yeah, man, it's messed up. The conspiracies I was on about was like Luke on the father. How can thousands of people, and there's even toys that say it. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's mental.
And all I gotta say is, if they are gonna bring Darth Revan into Star Wars, we all know who could play Darth Revan. I can see it. Keanu Reeves. I can fucking see it.
I want to see them do a movie on Darth Bane. That's what I
Now,
want
the only question is, who would play a good Darth Bane, in your opinion? In my opinion, Tom Hardy. I don't care. Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he's in.
I can actually see that. It would be ironic too, but I can see it.
I know. When I was thinking about it one day, I'm like, Tom Hardy? And then when I close my eyes, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. Especially when you look at how he played Bane and how in Batman and how Bane and Darth Bane are very similar.
That's why I said it would be ironic, because of the fact that he played Bane in Batman. Imagine him playing Darth Bane in Star Wars.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is a phenomenal actor. Like, he nailed Venom.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people didn't like him as Bane, but I think he did a good job.
I thought
Bane,
so too.
Bane was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Better than the Bane in Batman versus Robin.
Oh god. Oh.
The only thing they got right about that movie is that he was this big dude, and his look in that movie looked like how he looked. But that's all.
See, I think part of the problem too was the fact that you had Heath Ledger, who played an amazing Joker. He did an amazing job, and then you had Tom Hardy trying to kind of, follow up to Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah, the whole point of those Christopher Nolan Batman movies, it's supposed to be like if Batman was in today's world. It's supposed to feel very realistic.
Yeah.
Did you like the Joker movie?
I loved it. I thought I was skeptical, but when I first seen it, and I've always loved Joaquin as an actor, but when I seen him as the Joker, I was like, he actually did very good. I don't care what anyone says.
When I watched it, I was like, that's the dude from Gladiator. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Joaquin's a great actor. I mean, the dude even played the legendary Johnny Cash, and he nailed that role.
Holy shit, I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched that in years. But yeah, he plays Johnny Cash. It's a good movie.
Wow.
And now he's going to play Napoleon, which that movie is going to be fucking dope.
I've seen a trailer to that on YouTube.
And I was like, you know, anything directed by Ridley Scott, who did Gladiator, and you know when Ridley Scott and Joaquin Phoenix work together, it's going to be a good movie. Wish there's going to be a sequel to Gladiator, which I don't know how they're going to go about that.
I wasn't a fan of the newer Batman with the new Riddler. I was not a fan of that.
Yeah,
to be completely honest, I think it was a missed opportunity. I think Johnny Depp would have been a better Riddler, which is sad for me to say because I'm not a big Johnny Depp fan. But I feel like he could have played that role better.
Yes. Now, Colin Farrell, he played a phenomenal Penguin. That was dope. Like, when I was watching that, I'm like, that's Colin Farrell? Holy shit. Now, one thing they got right about that movie is they made Batman dark and gritty, which is dope. I'm like, if they would have just made that movie rated R, it would have been perfect to make a rated R Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of your favorite superheroes?
My favorite superhero, like DC-wise, is Batman, but I'm like really big into like Marvel and shit. Like, I love Spider-Man, you know, I love Spawn.
Iron Man. My favorite's Iron Man.
Yeah. I love all of, like, I just love heroes, comics in general. But Batman's probably like my favorite from DC because he's just a normal dude that's using his brains and gadgets. He doesn't have any superpowers, unlike he does. It's his intelligence that is his superpower.
I have to say Iron Man for me, and then probably DC-wise, I'd have to agree. It would be Batman.
Yeah, because that's one thing that Batman's known for. He's a great hero, but then he has like a huge variety of like rogues gallery of villains, and so does Spider-Man.
I heard they was making switching topics. I heard they was making a Gladiator 2 movie.
Yeah, I heard that they are doing that, which I don't know how they're gonna go about that. I'm like, are they gonna deal with like the paranormal where his character is maybe like in the afterlife or something? That would be pretty interesting. And he has to come back to life.
Like it's a Hades or something in the underworld.
I mean, they do. I mean, the Romans did believe in like mythology and stuff, and so
yeah. Dante's Inferno. Well, that's more like a parody, ain't it? Dante's Inferno.
Which if you watch that movie with Robin Williams, like What Dreams May Come, it's basically like Dante's Inferno, which is dope.
That film's crazy, man. That film's crazy.
It just wanted 2 pennies.
Hell yeah, and before we let you guys go, do you guys like have any like shout outs and stuff, and do you want to like plug anything?
So, salute to you, Don, for doing what you're doing. Thank you for having us on, rambling. But we can go on forever, bro. If you want us back on in the future when we do our show or for solo stuff, let us know. Sick working on the Torture Circle album. Hopefully get that done now. And I've got my solo project. Check out number 1, I'm Matt on SoundCloud.
Hell yeah, we'll definitely post all y'all's socials and where people can hear your guys' like in the description. So yeah, after this, Kevin, send me all those like links so then I can post them in the description.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always something new coming from us. Always, even solo stuff. I've got like 20 songs on my page on YouTube. There's a few stuff. One Life Entertainment. I'm working on a little cartoony music video. One of my songs, Dead Human. Boxed up song, but hope you enjoy it. And thanks for having us on.
Oh yeah, and like I always tell my guests, you're always welcome back on the show whenever. You want to come on and ever just promote anything, just let me know and I'll book a spot for you guys.
Salute to you.
Make sure to check out One Life Entertainment on YouTube.
Hell yeah. You guys have a good night.
You do the same, Don.
Later. Hell yeah, y'all. That was a dope. This was a very dope interview, you know. That was up. What's up, Humble Among? Hell yeah. Yeah, that was history actually being made tonight, y'all. We had our very first ever international music interview, and that was dope. You know, very also first international hip-hop duo or group that we've had on the show. You have Kevin, who's based in New York, and you have Matt, who's all the way there in the UK. That's dope. Hell yeah. Speaking of that, Humble Among, get at me because I want to book a spot for you to come on the show in September, because I'm currently working on the schedule for the show for next month. So get at me and let me know which Thursday works for you, and keep up the great work. So yeah, we'll make sure to keep the links down in the description to the socials and where you can hear Tortured Circles music, and where you guys can follow them on social media. Follow your boy on all social media, and follow the lovely Miss Lady Chaos on all of her social medias as well. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you guys, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay or you're not watching at all. It's greatly appreciated, because we don't care here how many people tune in. And I'm going to go spend time with the lovely Miss Lady Chaos, the love of my life. I love you, babe. Yeah, you can expect reactions coming. Oh, and if you guys ever want us to react to your stuff, just send it to me and Lady Chaos, and we will react to y'all's music. So whenever you have a new project or music out or single, send it me and Lady Chaos's way, and we will react to it. Or if you want to be on the Hours of Chaos podcast, just hit me up. I'm very approachable. Or if you want to be on Let's Sesh with the lovely Lady Chaos and Lithium Queen, let them know. They did a great show last night. Make sure you guys go check it out. They interviewed my bro Chuckles. They did a phenomenal job. So shouts to my sponsors and my crew, Line Death Clothing, sponsor down below. Like I said, there's nothing in the description right now because I had to hurry and scramble to put this stream together, where usually I have everything all set up, but I had stuff I had to go run and do. And the day just got away. Today just went really fast. I don't know about y'all, but today went by super fast. Maybe it's just me. Oh yeah, you're very welcome, man. Whoop, whoop. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, the official schedule for the month of August is out right now on my YouTube, so go watch that video and comment on it. And yeah, more videos to come, more collabs and working with people on video lab projects coming out. And yeah, appreciate you guys, whether you're tuning in live or not tuning in live, or you're just watching the replay. It's appreciated. Hell yeah. Yeah, you guys are awesome. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Again, follow your boy and our guests on the social media. Follow the lovely Miss Lady Chaos on all her social medias as well. You guys are awesome. Deuces.